Hello and welcome. I want to talk today about the power of imagination. Your own consciousness, your own mind, your own thoughts create the reality that you live in. You are a thinker, you have the power to think. This comes from the level of consciousness that you live in. There is only one thing that creates everything, and this is consciousness. So this power comes from your consciousness, this power to think. And one of the ways that we can think is we can think creatively, and we call this imagination. So you can use your imagination to create reality in the way that you would like reality to be. Now, obviously, it's not as simple as imagine something and it happens. In one respect, it is, but there is more to it than that. There is more to understand about it than that. So, your own mind is incredibly powerful, but it is like a child. It needs to be loved, understood, and nurtured if you want to get the best out of it. It's almost like there are two parts to you. Maybe like when we're thinking about conscious creation, it could possibly look like there is a male part and a female part to every one of us. And these parts are not better. There's not one that's better than the other. And they work together the best through love and understanding. So when we begin to truly love and understand our own minds and see that we have this, that the two parts show up as in, I can talk to myself in my own mind. I can be aware of watching my imagination. I can deliberately imagine something and be aware that I am imagining it. So when we begin to see this and we love and we understand and we've nurtured our mind, we can imagine the world, something in the world that we want. And day-to-day life shows us, when we're going about our life, it shows us things that we want. It shows us whether we want to be a better person, to show up as more thoughtful and kind in a relationship, whether we want to be someone who reacts differently in a situation, whether we want something physical in the world, whether we want something like a new house or a new car. Life shows us these things, and we live in an abundant, amazing world, and we are here to explore being human and to create in this way. So there is nothing wrong with anything. That if you have a desire for something, if you want something, there is nothing wrong with that, whatever it is. So when life shows us what it is we want, we can then use this power of imagination, this creative power we have within us, to imagine who we would be and what the world would be like if this thing, whatever it was, if we had it, it was fully real and fully realised. If we were that person, if we acted in that way, we can use our imagination to imagine what that would be like. Then, if we trust our imagination, if we imagine it until it feels totally real and natural to us, like it might be the first time that you imagine treating somebody differently and talking to them differently, that might feel like something that is impossible to you, way, way, way above something that you could do. If you imagine having a new job and a different salary, that could seem like way out of anything that could be possibly possible for you. And anything that you imagine in that way could feel like that. So it might take a while to play in your imagination, to sit with, to see who you would be and what you would be like if this thing were real to you. And you have to play in your imagination till it feels so natural and true and real, till you have imagined it so many times that you can go there and know what it feels like, know that feeling, know who you are in that place. And that is the amazing creative ability that you have. And once you have done that, once you've played around like that, once you know it in that way, then you can have faith, you can trust that this is going to happen. And once you get to that place, once you know that, once you are so familiar with this, you will have changed within you how you act, who you are out in the world. You will have opened up something in your mind so that doors open, things start to happen, things open up to you. You're both internally and externally. You will have shifted in your consciousness and you will live from a different place. And what it is you are thinking about has to become real in the world. It is not possible for it not to, unless you lose that faith, lose that belief, lose that knowing and understanding that that is possible, and move back to being the person that you were before you imagined that, if you move out of that state. Now, this isn't to kind of beat yourself up that you didn't do it. This is just kind of saying, this is how it works. In any ways, no matter what it is, if our mind starts to open and starts to change, our level of consciousness changes. And as our level of consciousness changes, what is available to us, what we see, we can only see what is real in our consciousness moment to moment. And as we change that, what we see, the world that we witness, the world that we live in changes. So creation and conscious creation has to work this way. Whether it is that you want to show up differently and be kinder to yourself and other people, or whether it is you want to be a person who runs a successful business or owns a bigger home, you have to be that, know that in your imagination, know that state of consciousness, know what that feels like, to become familiar with it, to move into it. So if this video has brought something up with you, feel free to comment, to share what's happening for you. If there's something, if you would like more clarity, if there's a video you would like me to make, please feel free to reach out and ask that question. At the moment, I'm running something called 365 Days of Cracking Creation, where we are looking into this more, where we have live conversations once a month. It would be amazing to have you join me in that. The details to find out more about that are going to be underneath this video. So have a great day, and hopefully I will see you somewhere soon. Take care and lots of love. Bye for now.